Hey viewers, my name's Kara. I'm your host for Tuesdays on the Pagan Perspective, and this week we are talking about Kesha's music video for the song Die Young and symbols being used in the mainstream media. The topic this week is from TheWitchboycolumbus, and as usual, the question will be below, as will the link to the video that he provided us with, and of course, some other links of things that I will be talking about. The topic states, I was interested on the thoughts for the channel about Kesha's video, Die Young. In the video, there's a lot of symbols and usage of items that we, witches and pagans, use in our practice. I personally feel it kind of sets our movement back a little. The comments on the video are crazy right now, and of course, he suggested this topic months and months ago, so I took a look at some of the more recent comments, which are still pretty crazy, but I don't know exactly the comments that he was looking at. Watching the video more, there's a lot of Illuminati visuals as well as a pentagram, inverted crosses, pyramids, tarot, or card reading. Not just this video, but when any mainstream media uses items like these in a negative way or to mean evil, I personally feel like it constantly sets every non-Christian group backwards in acceptance. I wonder how everyone else feels. So before I even start, the Illuminati is another topic that someone asked us to cover on this channel, and the way the scheduling worked out, we should be covering that topic next month, in May 2013. So I asked the group to not really focus on the Illuminati this time, because we'll be able to go into that on its own later on. So when you watch this music video, the first things you notice are a lot of triangles, some inverted crosses, a hearse, and black clothing, a ring in the shape of a human eye, and then more things come up like a pentacle, single point up, people making out, divination of some sort by cards, lingerie, Kesha in a really awkward position in white lingerie. Like seriously, what is that pose? It can't be comfortable. And I have to say, I've heard this song on the radio. I had never seen the video before. I like the song for the beat and kind of one way that you could interpret the message, but I never really liked it because the repeated line in the chorus is just, we're gonna die young, we're gonna die young. And so when I sing it, I always make sure to add in like. It's, let's make the most of the night like we're gonna die young. Like we're gonna die young, like we're gonna die young. So I make sure to add the word like. It's not actually in the song, and I work too much with positive affirmation to sing that shit. Anyway, watching the video, pairing that with the song and what the song appears to be about, all I'm getting out of this is that in this video, Kesha represents all of the kids or people, you know, they don't necessarily have to be young, who want to rebel against their parents, against society, against whomever, and they do so by grabbing onto anything that they have been taught is bad. Grab onto a bunch of things and do them just because they know people disapprove of them. Other people do the same things, but they were not taught that they were bad, so if they wanted to rebel, they wouldn't do those things because those things are accepted. It doesn't make sense to do something as part of a rebellion if it's not something that's frowned upon. Katy Perry kisses a girl, but not really because she never did, she just sings about it. And Kesha apparently dances in front of a neon pentacle and reads tarot, maybe. The song is actually about like enjoying being with a person while you're with them, because the person that you're into came to the party with someone else and that sucks, but hey, while we're here together, let's make the most of it because life's short. So I really don't know what the video has to do with that. Anyway, moving on. The comments on the video are interesting. Like I said, I didn't go back to whatever point the person actually asked us this, but I looked at the recent comments in the past like 15 hours before I did my research on it last night. I'll show you some of them. Some people say Illuminati, others say no. Someone says, is she a devil worshipper? Someone told me the Illuminati sign is bad, but I don't know. Which gets me thinking, one, since when is the only meaning of bad satanic? And two, what are they referring to as the Illuminati sign? Like there's only one? So I looked that up later, but first, the rest of the comments. Lots of linking the symbols with Satanism, and some people being mad at Kesha for sparking this erroneous debate over Satanism. Just a lot of ridiculousness and arguing back and forth about what things mean, and then some people finally mention paganism, which is half good for them for knowing, and half, oh wow, thanks for dragging us into this. So I don't blame Satanists at all for being annoyed at this. They have nothing to do with people taking their symbols and using them any more than we do. And as I have learned, a lot of symbols get their meanings changed anyway. So like I always say about definitions of terms, we really have to ask people what these things mean to them, and you can't really assume which thing they mean. So what exactly do these people think are Illuminati symbols? I had to look this up because I didn't know if there was one particular thing. So apparently this, which the band 303 also uses, 303, got it? And a lot of musicians and bands use that symbol, or they might do like this, which I guess is, I don't know, whatever. Hey, guess what? Just doing the sign with your hands doesn't mean you're part of the Illuminati. Don't get crazy. And this sign is apparently a sign of the devil. The first link that will be below, Illuminati Signs and Symbols Revealed, says that this is also a satanic symbol or something other because it stands for 666, whatever. And that link also has a pretty generic neo-pagan / Wiccan picture with the Wheel of the Year on it, and they are associating that with the Illuminati zodiac symbols. Also the peace sign, and to me, I was like, what? The peace sign is satanic too now? Why? So I looked up the peace sign, and of course, the peace sign can't just stand for nuclear disarmament anymore. It's also the Antichrist. Wah wah. So the second link that I have down there is about the peace sign, and how people now refer to the peace sign as the inverted cross of Nero, and yeah. I just can't even. Peace. Oh, and then there was a Cracked.com article about people misunderstanding symbols, which I really enjoyed. It goes through 8 historic symbols that mean the opposite of what you think, and it talks about inverted crosses, stuff like that. I don't even remember all of them. So then I looked up satanic symbols on Google. Sometimes I feel like if people had to search my search history, they would be really confused until they, found out what I do. Anyway, so if you look up satanic symbols on Google, it brings up several things. There are some images that are really helpful, and they're like illustrated guides telling you exactly how each symbol is satanic, and oh god, it made me laugh. But 2 of the websites, one page is from a site called Religious Facts, which the subtitle of that page claims that they give just the facts about religion. And another page is called Exposing Satanism. Which one of those sites do you think is the funniest? Obviously, the one that sounds the most subjective. So I looked at both of them, but I looked at Exposing Satanism, and indeed, that link mentions things like, no matter which way it's used, point up or point down, circle or no circle, the pentagram pentacle is satanic. All the time. Hexagrams are not Jewish, they are dark magic, which of course they are both a magical symbol and a Jewish symbol, but whatever. Do what thou wilt, according to this website, is the law of the Satanists, and they talked about the AOK symbol being hijacked by occultists to communicate amongst each other. Fun stuff. So basically, the moral of the story, and what I learned, is that everything is an Illuminati symbol. Everything. Okay, not really, but a lot of things, and everything symbolizes something wrong if you decide that it does. Honestly, a lot of the pictures that come up when you search these things, it's really obscure, people put certain words in a certain order and took certain letters out of it to spell the thing that they wanted to spell, and it's you don't really see the rhyme or the reason for how they got there. They were looking for that result and pulled it out of there, and that's what a lot of this stuff I feel is like. You will find a way to make symbols mean something if you really want to. What's the easiest way to get people to think that your way is the only valid one and everyone else is wrong? What's the easiest way to do that? You invalidate every other way there is to make yourself look like the best. You convince everyone that everything else is evil, and if they believe in evil, then they'll probably stay away from those things. Sound familiar? And lately in the music industry, I guess it's just, how do we make as much money as we can? We can copy Lady Gaga because she did pretty well. We can stick in symbols that make people argue for days and days on our YouTube comments. Make sure that people continue to talk about you. That's how you do it. And I know not everyone is like this, and I honestly don't think that I should have to say that anymore. I feel like you should know that I'm never talking about an entire group of people unless I say what group I'm talking about, and even then, there are individuals who could be different. But we all know that tons of symbols and words have been changed over the years, for better and for worse. And usually when it becomes bad, it's due to a new defining of it by people who don't use it, people who don't identify with the symbol. And then there are people who might identify with the negative version of the symbol because they want to be seen as bad or evil or whatever it is. But it usually starts, I think, with people disassociating with the symbol and saying, no, 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 I'm not that. That thing is bad. But there are usually at least two sides to every story. And the shirt.woot shirt of the day is actually, it's called Platonic Love, and it's a picture of like a D6, a D20, and a something else. But anyway, the description of it is there are sometimes 6, 10, and 20 different sides to a story. But to answer the basic question that Witchy Boy Columbus asked us, yes, I do think that when symbols are used in a way that shows them as bad, especially in the mainstream media, we run the risk of people misunderstanding them, misunderstanding their origins or their uses or what it means to the people who do identify with them, and then associating them with incorrect things. So personally, that's why I always try to ask people what things mean to them, learn as much as I can about it, read things that come from different sources that probably have different biases. You can form your own opinion on things, like you can decide whether to you a certain thing is good or bad or somewhere in between or nothing at all, though it usually helps to hear from multiple sides and get to hear the argument for each and then just decide which one you most agree with. So I really wish that I could ask Kesha, what the hell did that video have to do with the song, because that's not what I got from it at all. Or rather, I would ask the art directors of the video, because we don't necessarily know if Kesha actually had anything to do with that, or if they were just like, hey, other artists are doing these things and they're being successful, so we ought to do it. I wish I could find an article like explaining the making of the video or talking about why they did certain things. But that's not dramatic enough for the media. They want people to make assumptions and argue in the comments and give the video more views and more discussion. So that's all. And I, for realsy reals, don't want people to argue about, like, the Illuminati and all this other kind of stuff in the comments of this video. If you want to argue about stuff like that, could you please take it somewhere else? I don't think that that's the point of this video, so if you could please in the comments focus on that main question that he asked. Do you think that symbols of religions and other sort of spiritual groups being used in the media in a negative way, do you think that does negatively affect our movement? Okay? Awesome! Love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you here next time. Over on my personal channel, I'm doing vlog every day in April, and the videos are being posted several days after the fact, but I have been vlogging every single day, so you will see a video for every day in April. Sierra! So until next time, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to be awesome, blessed be, and goodbye. Bye!